It's Mommy Mondays. We're going to hit it and quit it real good one time for your mind because we got a few things we're going to talk about. I'm going to just jump straight in the gate because we had a few technical difficulties, um, before. I'm going to jump straight into it. So, one of the things that I've said before is as a married woman, I've said this a couple of years ago until I gained a little bit of knowledge that I felt like a single mom. Brittany, talk a little bit about how it feels to hear a married person say they feel like a single mom.
It's a bit discouraging. I would say being a single woman, you see your friends or your associates and the things that they go through. So to see a mom go through the same things that I go through, it's almost like, well, if I can do it by myself, why do I need a man? Which obviously we know biblically we were created to be a helpmate, but times are different. It's nothing like Bible times. So I just feel like it's disheartening sometimes because why would I want to focus on a situation or be pressed and married? So it's discouraging for sure, but I understand that marriage is also an agreement to grow together. So there are stages. So I try my best not to make long-term decisions off of things that I see happening with people. So it's interesting, but it's definitely discouraging because that independent woman complex is very strong. And especially now, if you have to do it by yourself, and I just don't see choosing to struggle with somebody when I can do it by myself.
Well, my husband literally just walked in here and handed me a chicken. My bad. Oh,
All good. Enjoy your chicken, sis.
but so this is the thing. The reason I bring it up and the reason I want to talk about it is because my husband and I, we behind the times, right? We watching Army Wives. We watching old season whenever we get a chance. We watching it together. We have agreed not to watch it alone, so nobody's ahead of the other. And one of the things they talk about in there, now was it? No, it wasn't Army Wives. It was the real rich people in Birmingham, the couples. Can't remember the name of the show. Or Huntsville.
Oh, okay. Got you.
Yeah. It was the show where the real rich couples were married in Huntsville. And one of the moms on the show, she raised her son pretty much on her own. And she told one of the other ladies how disrespected she felt when she kept talking about how she was a single mom, because she had lived that life of having to take care of her child on her own versus the fact that, the married woman had, that support there. Even if it wasn't all the time, she had something to fall back on at times when needed, So what do you think is key for, as far as the difference, for a married woman versus the actual single mom? What do you think is the key difference for them to really understand that even though they may feel that that's not the case?
That's interesting. Ooh, I don't, because I like to think about things and receive things before I make real judgments on it, but mostly the financial aspect. I don't think that women who are married hopefully aren't taking care of everything on their own. So you saying you're broke and me saying I'm broke are two different things. If I'm paying $1,500 in bills, I'm not on food stamps, I don't have any assistance when it comes to providing or feeding my child. Definitely financial would be the first thing. And then two, maybe just the companionship part of it. Having a long day and not having anybody to say anything to or tell, hey, I'm tired, or these people trying me at work, like those kinds of things. So even if you are married and you feel single, even if y'all don't talk every night, or if y'all don't, have an open communication, at least somebody's there to give you a hug or just say, you
That
got this. Yeah, that companionship. So definitely financial and the companionship component of it. And like I say, everybody who's married is not happy. So I can't say that everybody's getting hugs at night or everybody's getting support. But in my opinion, I just feel like if we're comparing, situations, you got somebody to talk to, and I have friends. I could talk to my friends, but a lot of times we're all dealing with our own thing and you don't want to keep dropping those bombs on your friends. So it's a balance. So I wouldn't say I would get upset if a married woman is saying she feels single, because there are some relations, there are some ways that they relate, but it's a lot of things that single women deal with that some married women could never understand. As they shouldn't, though. Like, that's why you marry, so you don't have to deal with that. You got your own set of marital problems that I don't even particularly want to deal with, so it's a balance for sure. And I, like, my married friends, I hope they don't feel like they can't be honest with me because I'm gonna feel away because I don't have that, because that's never my approach.
Yeah, I think what you said is really important, because there are so many friendships that are tainted or altered when the relationship status changes. I know even for us, when I got engaged, there was a situation where, um, you know, people said things. I ain't gonna lie.
You childish.
No.
But we gonna do. We said we gonna push through.
Gonna push through. Okay, but it wasn't you. It was just an outside entity that had an effect on the way we communicated at the time. And I think it's important for people to, really have a foundation in their friendship for them to really be able to understand life transitions. And I think if you're surrounded by people that when you get married or when your relationship status change, their view, perspective, or angle or judgment of you changes, then they're not a friend. They're not a friend. I agree, Leontine. It's nothing worse than a bitter single friend. And on the top of that, it's nothing worse than a cocky married one.
Ooh, that's strong, sis.
Worse than a cocky married one. You around all your single friends and everything around them,
my
husband. No, boo, why you with your friends? It's about your friendship. And if there's room to cultivate, the relationship portion of, your friendship, then do that. But it's not your lane as a married woman to be so cocky about your marriage around your single friends. And I know some people gonna feel some kind of way about this. Boo, you do you. I'm gonna do me. Okay. But this the thing, it's important for people to understand that, like, our relationship would be, we've been friends for amount, what I'm saying? We ain't gonna tell like
we still young tender. What's up?
We still young tenderonies, you know what I'm saying? But we've been friends for years. And our friendship has really been determined by the things that we've gone through together and individually, and how we both reacted and responded to those things. And I think if your friendship is strong enough, you trust the person enough to tell them the truth. You see what I'm saying? You trust them enough to be honest with them and not hide things. That's how you know real friendship, when you can just tell somebody anything. And so if you're married, I'm gonna be honest, I'm married and I don't have a lot of single friends, and that's just that's the way the cookie crumbles. And it's okay. And I'm okay with that. But my married friends I do have, I don't get around them and just the whole time I'm just like, oh, well, said this and said that. Oh, he's just so good. No, I get around him and I want to have some girl talk. Well, I have 3 kids.
Mommy talk.
So when I get around other women, I want to, talk about womanly stuff. I don't want to talk about my husband. And I get it. Some people may feel like, well, Ebony, you're married, you shouldn't have any single friends. I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that. My opinion. I can say what this my Mommy Monday. If you want to change the opinion about what I'm saying, then you have your own money.
Ebony, redirect. Go back.
So, people do. They feel some kind of way, when it comes to that connection, and this is, just the way I feel. But anyway, okay. So pressing forward, right now, a lot of the kids are in virtual learning, and they have that experience. Tell me what that experience is like for you. Right now and the virtual learning.
Ooh, honey. First, let's say this. Major salute, major blessings, major hugs, love. I wish I could give y'all more money to the teachers, because God knows that is a true calling. In my opinion, you have to love what you do if you're a teacher. You have to have a level of patience that I am learning after 9 years of motherhood to still possess.
Right.
So for me, virtual learning was the only option because my child's safety is not going to be placed in the hands of anybody else if I have an option. And so I chose virtual learning, and I chose to extend it for the second 9 weeks until January, hopefully when things have calmed down and, you know, some form of new normalcy, because it'll never be the same.
Right.
But for me, virtual learning has been a challenge because I already struggle with the balance being a single mom. I have to be the nurturer. I have to be the disciplinary. I have to be the chef. I have to be the maid, you know, all of these roles. So to add teacher on, to
Yeah.
me, I feel like it's overwhelming for both of us. And I am in my 30s, so a lot of the fourth grade things, I have no idea. They teach math new, they do everything new. So it's almost like a relearning process just so I can make sure he's keeping up. Balancing the time, making sure we have a, a weird combination of teachers. We have one teacher who is bossing up, like sis gets it, like this her thing. She got a list, like it's perfect. The other teacher is the complete opposite. She's chaotic. She uses every app. So we have both ends of the spectrum to balance, making sure we're getting assignments. And he's also in gifted classes. So we have additional work on top of just regular work.
Mm.
So it has been an extreme challenge. But the more that we do it, the better we get, especially with the time management, making sure, you know, that he has his breaks to draw and just to be himself, because we struggled in second and third grade with teachers, and he was getting to the point where he didn't like school. So being home and being in his comfort zone has helped. It's just the social interaction that I sometimes worry about. So we're working on doing some extracurricular stuff outside of home and school, obviously, so he can see some kids and just, you know, talk stuff, whatever fourth graders do.
Right.
But it's definitely been a challenge. And again, salute to the teachers, especially the Montgomery teachers. They're having to not only teach in school, but teach virtual at the same time. So y'all are asking these people to do two jobs at one time. And I just think it's absolutely crazy. So again, much love and salute to the teachers. Hopefully more parents are understanding and trying to work with you all. I know I am. But again, until coronavirus and all of these things
Right.
pass, the election, all of these, you know, things that are taken away from our everyday life, until
Right.
those things calm down, we're going to be home. We're going to push through. You know, he might be a little behind next semester, but
But
that's
he
okay.
He won't. He
You know,
won't.
he'll have some life skills. He's gonna know how to clean a
Yes.
bathroom. He's gonna know how to make his bed every day. Like, he's not gonna be no lazy man. So,
Yeah.
you know, if we are missing out on some scholastic things, we are definitely learning some everyday life skills. He knows how to manage his money. He knows, you know, all of that stuff.
Which is
So,
most important.
right, which is more important. I don't remember anything from algebra or any of that, and I'm not using any of that in my everyday life.
I
So,
AP Cal in high school. Ask me what I don't know.
yeah.
Okay.
Mm-mm.
And you
It's all good.
that are really important that I want to kind of go back and touch on for just a second. You know, right now, these kids, you know, it's difficult for the teacher asking them. The Henry County, where my children are, they did the same thing. They have the teachers teaching the virtual students and in class. They have like a little setup for the teacher to be able to talk. The kids that are virtual are like up on the board. You know, they
Mm-hmm.
try to be fancy with it, you know, whatever. But you know, we're in an age where, you know, when we were growing up, it was children are seen and not heard. You know, you did what your parents
Yeah.
told you to do. We're in an age now where our children literally have to, um, you know, they literally have to be heard. Because if you're not taking the time to hear your child or listen to what they have to say, listen to their opinion, then you could really cause like not just child trauma but adult trauma. You know, that stuff can go with them, carries them. It's a weight that goes
Your whole
your
life.
way. Listen, and I was talking to a friend of mine today, and we were just talking about the transition because many people don't know. You know, I withdrew my children from public school and decided to just fully homeschool. You know what I'm saying? I am no longer a part of the public school system, and that was my choice because my children, although they had fantastic teachers, fantastic teachers working their behinds off. Their teachers were amazing. And I was sure to send both of their teachers an email to let them know, you haven't done anything wrong, but
Right.
this just doesn't work for my children. But I still applaud you for what you're doing, and I commend you. You have been doing a fantastic job, but this just doesn't work for us.
Right.
On top principal know, because I was so heavily involved in the school. But I think it's important in this season that we do listen to our children.
Yeah.
As
Yeah.
adults, we're
And that's
struggling.
one thing I will say too about virtual school is just because they're not physically going to school doesn't mean they're mentally always ready for that. And it has been some days where he's like, Mom, I'm overwhelmed. And if I wasn't listening to that, I would be like, shut up, get the work done. But at the end of the day, I have to remember this is a transition for him. We didn't get to go on a summer vacation. It was a lot of things that were taken away from him as far as like what we're accustomed to. And so I feel like the worst thing I could have done was to just be even more inconsiderate of how he's feeling and then be pressured about school, especially when it's in our home. To me, your home is your peace, your space, where you vibe and you relax. So
Right.
to have to get up and create a space where, it's 8 o'clock, I got breakfast, I got school, I got, all of that, that's already taken, bro, I can't go. But it's already taken so much away from him. So I just feel like we have definitely done a better job of just talking. How are you feeling? What's going on? You feel, you got this. Do you need any help? Those kind of things. And sometimes I work from home too. I got 3 jobs. So, there are times when he needs that attention and I can't give it to him. So those times when I can, I'm trying to tune in. I'm trying to listen and just really hear him out. And even if he's 9, like if we can have that now, when he's 18, I don't have to worry about him going out and living a wild life and doing all that stuff because he gonna already know. Me and my mom been talking like friends since I was 9 years old, and we're gonna have
Right.
that forever. So I just think your kids are an absolute reflection of you. As much as you don't think that they are watching, or as much as you think they don't care, they're
Right.
listening. They hear you. They want to know. A lot of times it's so funny. I'll tell him stuff and he'll be like, "You did that too when you were young?" I'm like, "Yeah, bro. Like, the same stuff you going through, I've done. You know what I'm saying? The same little tricks you trying to play on me, I play
Right.
those tricks, bro. You are me, so don't try to play me. But I'm not rude with it where I'm like, don't do this, don't do that. We talk about it. And
Yeah.
I'm just hoping that, this time, I will say like quarantine was rough because everybody has their thing. And for me, my thing is my hustle. Like I'm gonna stay busy. And so not having the option, having to sit in it and then sit with my son in it and then deal with some of the things that as a parent, I didn't have time to deal with. So, we had to clean up some things. And as me as a parent, him as a child, being able to communicate, I think for boys, it's a lot different because when they're, his dad is very much in his life. Salute to his dad, great provider. I don't have to do much, but there are some things that he can't tell his dad that he needs to talk to me about. And those were things that I didn't pay attention to until I was forced to sit in the house for 3 months and deal with all of that. So, it's a lot. But virtual school, talk to your children. They hear you on the phone talking with your friends, hee hee ha ha, and then you come in there with them and you like, sit down, do this, do that. Like, that's not cool. Like your kids are, your friends eventually, So I want to make sure that even with the pressure from virtual school and everything he's going through, that no matter what, he can come and talk to me and, say
Right.
how he's feeling.
Yeah. And that's so important. And for you guys who are just tuning in, we are on Facebook and Instagram. That's why we're looking at 2 different screens. Okay.
I
Some
know.
of
Hey Facebook, hey,
we
I'm trying to balance
sorry.
it out, y'all.
But
Ebony got me doing a lot.
what you said is so important. We talk about, communication and building rapport and establishing relationships with adults. But I think so many people lack the ability to communicate effectively with their children. They lack the ability. They want to do what their parents did to them. And clearly it didn't work.
That was it. That was strong. That was it. That's it.
Clearly it didn't
I'm
work.
literally I'm being the parent that I needed. And I thank God to my mom. Shout out to, my dad. But what I needed and I feel like I didn't get, I'm trying to double up on him because I
Right.
don't want him to struggle with the things I struggle with. I don't want him to, you know, feel what I felt, felt as a child. And as much as we want to dodge it, so much of our childhood determines the kind of adults that we are. But that's another life, so I ain't even gonna go there. But yeah, it's extremely important. Talk to your kids.
Yeah.
Talk to the children.
But the thing that I want a lot of parents to gather, because it's so fun. I had a male father DM me and was like, Evan, I just want to tell you thank you for Mommy Mondays, because
Okay.
it opportunity to kind of get a little insight to be able to be a better father to my kids. And I was like, who?
Pressure. Pressure.
And so I think one of the most powerful things that just happened within the last 120 seconds is that shout out to his dad. He's doing his part. He's doing,
Absolutely.
salute to him. And I think that so many times, Dylan, chill out.
Okay. See, yeah, when the auntie got to talk.
when mommy making symbols and she on the, you know what I'm saying, you got
Right. Take
it's like that mama in church. That mama in church.
Right. And see you across the room and be like, you heard what I said.
Right. You know, them lips moving, but your teeth not here. But I think it's so important, whether married or single and co-parenting, that people are able to communicate well, and ensure that they're acknowledging the role the other person is playing. Now, don't get me wrong. I know some people that's not functioning in their role well. So we ain't saying, okay?
Yeah.
We're not talking about, we talking about people that's handling their business. You see what I'm saying? And I tell people all the time, my husband is a great father, and I'm appreciative for that. And I had to learn as a mother, and I don't even know if I've expressed this on a live before, but I had to learn, as a mother, not to be jealous of my daughter. And because my daughter has a father who is around.
My, that's strong.
So I had to learn how not be jealous of my daughter and learn to appreciate the fact that she has not had something never had, which is a present father. You know what I'm saying? So I had to, why am I so jealous of my daughter for having something that she's supposed to have,
Right?
but I don't have it? And as parents, we have to be able to acknowledge the things that really have an effect on our parenting, that really have an effect on, the human beings that we're raising up, and be able to acknowledge those things and address them, so we're not applying that extra pressure or that extra weight to our children. You see what I'm saying? And I had to do it because I was my daughter for a long time. Like, whatever you need, go on somewhere.
Okay, sis.
Are you jealous of a child? You know what I'm saying? But it's real. That was a very feeling for me, because my father was so absent, and I had to acknowledge that and address that thing head on. Like, as soon as she was born, I felt it immediately. I was like, oh, why are you holding her so much? Can you put her down? Why
you love her like that? You love her enough to stick around, like you want to see everything she do? Ooh,
right.
That's
you know what I'm saying? My Pastor Michael Todd of Transformation Church in Oklahoma, he always talks about the part, being hot, humble, open, and transparent. And I think that transparency of this moment, I guarantee you, I'm not the only mother who's ever done that.
Oh no,
to
their daughter. Absolutely,
you know what I'm saying? Not. I guarantee I'm not the only mother who has ever been jealous of her daughter. You know what I'm saying?
I think one conversation that a lot of Black women don't want to talk about is how deep our daddy issues go. I mean, deep enough to the point where it affects your relationships with, like, your child's father, if you're co-parenting, your relationship with your husband, like you said, your relationship as a parent. But again, back to that thing of childhood issues. If you don't heal those spirits, and not to say demons, because all childhood issues aren't that deeply rooted, but those things they jump on your children. And for
Yeah.
some mothers, when you don't have a form of release, whether it's religion and you go to church and they pray that thing off you, or you into sage and you burn it, whatever your thing is, if you don't have a form of release, that stuff is in your spirit. So not only does it attack you when you're pregnant, but those spirits, if they don't get corrected early enough, will jump on your child. So, I think we could do
I
2 hours
believe in
on childhood issues, because it goes deep. It goes very deep.
I believe in
Very deep.
demons. I believe
Yeah.
in demonic connections. I believe in spirits. I believe in transfer of spirits. That's why you talk about, even in relationships or in marriage, that whole ideal of being connected to every person that you've ever been with your entire life,
Ooh,
having those
soul
soul,
tie.
having those
Mm.
soul ties, break those generational curses and bad behavior. Child, I don't even acknowledge my daddy issues. It's okay.
See,
You
and
acknowledge
that's
them.
my thing. I try my best
You
not
right.
to, but I recognize in my failed relationships, where those daddy issues rised up. And a lot of times we break up with people, we want to drag them, dog them out, but a lot of that is you, sis. And I'm saying that to myself. A lot of that I had to sit with and recognize, like, if I have a distorted relationship with my dad, that is going to distort all the relationships until I acknowledge it, one, and then figure out how to nip that shit. Because those triggers, some things that my dad, did, a man that I'm with might do it, and it might set off a whole trigger, and that ain't even
Right.
got nothing to do with that man. But now I
Right.
done spazzed out on him because I can't spaz on my dad.
Right.
So we really, you have to dig. And again, that goes into parenting, and I didn't have the jealousy issue necessarily of Dylan, but I was amazed at how involved his dad wanted to be. I was like, man, he want to be a part of everything. Like, I'm not used to that. That was something I had never seen. I was like, he want to change the bottle. He want to this. He want to do everything. So I never seen that. In my personal experiences, I had never seen that. So it was definitely a transition, and it was definitely the beginning of starting to acknowledge how deep those daddy issues were affecting my situations.
Yeah. And I'm
So,
I'm on I'm on dig one more time, just one more time.
oh, this getting deep, honey. You didn't say all this. Look.
I told you I don't write no script. We just go where it go. So
Yeah.
dig at this real quick for somebody. I don't know who this is for, because this wasn't what I was intending to say, but I feel this in my spirit. The forgiveness tool. Let me tell you something. The forgiveness tool, the tool of forgiveness. When you've chosen to forgive someone, and specifically we're talking about fathers. Look at Leah Teen. She'll trick you. She was with me last.
Clearly.
Okay. But listen, the tool of forgiveness, or the forgiving tool, let me tell you something. If you forgive someone, you've made the decision in your heart, your mind, and your spirit. You've done the work to be able to forgive, within yourself. And you feel like you have reached that point of forgiveness. You can be in that person's presence, and there's no gripe, no hurt, harm, or anything else. And that forgiveness, you feel like you've done that, and then you allow them back in, hurt you, then
Oh, did I do something?
yeah, it was echoing.
Okay. Sorry.
Yeah. But if you've chosen to forgive them, and you decide to allow them back in, and they hurt you again, and you say to yourself, well, I should have never forgave them in the first place. No, you should have never allowed them back in the first place. Just because you forgive someone, let's do a little quick session on forgiveness 101. Okay? Just because you forgive someone does not mean you have to allow them back in your space. Forgiveness does not require presence. Okay? Forgiveness doesn't require presence. Okay? Forgiveness means that you are better. You don't even have to go to a person to forgive. You need to be able to forgive within yourself. You need to forgive yourself. You need to be able to deal with everything within yourself and forgive that person and be able to move on. Forgiveness does not require prayer. Learn how to forgive and let them go if necessary. Or if it's somebody that you know you don't have a choice to be around, that's different. But don't claim forgiveness and then allow someone back in that doesn't belong. But the problem is maybe you don't realize they don't belong. That's a whole nother lie. Not go there. Yeah.
I don't have nothing to say. Look.
Yeah. That was poor because I wasn't planning on going there, but I felt that real deep in my soul. Forgiveness does not require whoever that is for. You ain't even got to say nothing. But I'm just telling you right now, they don't belong. Whoever you are, they don't belong there. You have forgiven them and let them go. Period. Okay, moving on. So last thing before we girl, you know I got
wrap it up, friend. Wrap it up. Put the bow on it and package it up.
Supposed to
be
over 9:30. It's supposed to be over at 9:30, period. But we still here. So this is the thing. Before we go, B, I want you to talk a little bit about, all of your different hats. Tell people a little bit about all the different things that you're doing, right now, to kind of shine a little light on what it is you do and why you do it.
Well, I'm gonna start off by saying, believe in your. Can I cuss? No.
Yeah, I don't care. It's so
believe in your motherfucking dreams, and I know if that ain't for everybody. So I know Ebony got a church family. So if you believe in the Lord and the cussing offends you, I'm sorry, but believe in your motherfucking dreams. I moved back to Alabama a couple years ago, and it has been quite the journey. But when I was in Atlanta, I started doing things, and I went to college off of my family. Everybody went to college. That's what I'm supposed to do. So, I got my degree, did everything, 4 years, sorority, all of the things that you quote unquote supposed to do. And I really struggled after college to figure out who I was and how I wanted to move in what I wanted to do. So everything that I was willing to do for free, I'm getting compensated well for now. So currently, my first role is mom, obviously. I try my best to manage this motherhood thing the best I can, because at the end of the day, if it ain't no money, that baby, he gonna love me, period. Money is good. We're gonna get as much as we can, but money ain't gonna never feel my heart the way that child does, and love is coming too. So amen. Shout out to my husband. I don't know where he at, what he doing, but pull up, okay? But anyway, seriously. So my first job,
Father,
my first quote unquote, yeah, we believe in manifesting. I don't know about y'all, but these two mommies, we believe in manifesting. Some of the conversations that we have manifested, like those things are coming into play. So for us, I don't know about the rest of y'all, but we talk crazy, and everything we say eventually comes to play. So believe in your motherfucking dream. But like I said, right now, currently, I am a digital marketing strategist for Wind Creek Hospitality. It's a great, amazing company, growing company. Those Porch Creek Indians, they take care of their people. So I love that job. I do basically social media and digital marketing. I also work with BB King's Blues Club inside of the casino. I do booking there. I book the stage. Currently, we have 4 nights of entertainment every week, every Thursday through Sunday. We're working on bringing some bigger artists to Montgomery. We just had Music Soul Child. Montgomery is a very he was nice. But with the music thing here, Montgomery is very different. I did what I'm doing here in Atlanta, and it's a whole different ball game. So it's always interesting to see how this market changes and how things are moving. I'm also working on launching a agency with some great creatives. So we're in the process of that. First of 2021, of course, we're waiting on the election and all this other nonsense to calm down, and we're going to launch. We plan to help businesses. So that's in process. I also have She Is Dope. and that is my girls group. We have an event coming up this November. We had to cancel our summit for April, obviously because of COVID. So we did a giveaway in May for graduates, but we're going to do one more event for the young ladies in November. And then I also have Living Better with Life Juice, which as a mom, that is a personal mission because my child is involved. He used to help me make the smoothies, you know, put the stickers on, all of that. So he's always like, Mommy, when are we getting our truck? You know, when are we doing this? When are we doing that? So it is on the back burner right now, but once I get everything else solid, that's in the plans too. So I am.
That's it. Oh,
no. That's it. That's all I was gonna say. But no, I was about to say I aspire to be a millionaire within the next 5 years, and in order to do that, it shows even in Forbes that most millionaires have 7 streams of income. So until I have 7 streams of income that are working for me, where I don't have to be there, where I can be in Bali on that swing, while 7 streams are still coming in, you're gonna see sis grinding. You know, I don't post a lot of selfies. I don't post a lot. You know, I did that. And so right now my goal is hustle, motherhood, and whatever else that's gonna take me where I'm going. So that's my story. That's all I got. E. You don't want me out tonight. Got all of these people live.
I love it.
Y'all ain't gonna see me again until this time next year. Okay, I'm going back in the hide.
Listen,
I might drop a selfie every now and then, but I can't. This ain't for me, you know. I came out strictly off the love.
I appreciate you. You know, Mondays is really about, you know, just self-care for me as an individual, you know, opportunity to vent, you know, if somebody needs to vent, you know, and just kind of talk about issues that are pertinent to us as moms and as parents in general. You know, fathers coming up, you know, a couple months now, and, you know, just having the perspective in general of people who are parenting in this season, parenting in a pandemic, you know, parenting through the process, parenting, you know, and preventing. I mean, it's just so many different things going on. So everybody's like, Ebony, you always doing something. You always doing something. But
but until like I said, you say what you want, but until we have those 7 streams of income, period, you're gonna get 3 and 4 and 5 different things. Because the people that are grinding right now, we might be all over the place. But when you figuring your shit out because you was wasting time judging, then we'll be getting our money for all 5 of the things that you used to see us post. Period. Right. Like I just feel like social media has created a culture of people who can sit behind the screen, look at what you post. They can assume, they can judge, you know, put their name on your life and all of these things. And, oh, she need to do this. Or, oh, she need to get it together. But at the end of the day, we all out here trying to figure it out. We all failing at something. We all are unsure about something. We all are struggling in some area. So, you know, the pretty pictures and the selfies and it's cute. I love it. I'd be so proud of some of y'all. But I always wonder, like, where your heart at? Where your mind at? Where your money at? You know, like the things that are gonna keep us. We're in a very uncertain, fragile time. Tomorrow is gonna change a lot for a lot of people, and I just feel like we're so distracted and focused on the wrong things. So these kind of conversations, you know, they're necessary because we're not talking enough. We're looking, scrolling, liking, distracted as fuck, and not realizing how important what's going on is, you know, going to affect us and our children. As much as we are, you know, pushing through this, at the end of the day, if something happens to me, I live my life. But my son is being robbed of so many opportunities. So if I'm not putting him in a position where he doesn't have to be worried about money when he graduates and goes to college, he don't have to worry about getting a job, you know, whether he's going to get a job or not when he graduates, because he's going to have savings. He's going to have a life savings that will open when he gets 21, so he can play the games. And then when he gets 21, he got another set of money to focus on. So it's you know, I just feel like the ones who are doing a lot and you don't understand their vision and you don't understand, we're going to be the ones who it's going to show. You know what I'm saying? Like the success will speak for itself.
You're right.
Period.
Danica, you on here being messy. She's talking about the people who steal your stuff. You being messy.
That's another live, Danica. That's another whole nother live. But let me show y'all something. I saw this quote on Twitter that said, even if I gave you all the tools to do what I do, you still couldn't do it like me. Period.
No. Period.
I can give you the game. I can give you everything I need to get where I'm going, but you can never do it like this. And that's the kind of confidence you got to walk in. I had to get to a place where I was like, forget what everybody's thinking. They're not paying no bills. Like, how I feel about me is going to determine what's coming in my house. Right. So, to me, honestly, if you're not being imitated, you're not doing nothing. And when you are in a position where people are taking what you're doing, clearly they can't move until you move. So until you make your next move, they're going to be sitting there like, ooh, what's this going to do? Because when she do it, we're going to take it, we're going to make it our own. So just keep waiting. Period. I'm just going to put up. See, that's enough. And I've been drinking too. Y'all better stop playing with me.
Hey, listen, guys. I greatly appreciate jumping on. On top of that, Instagram only gives us an hour anyway. So in a few more minutes, it would cut us off. But I'm so appreciative. My whole idea or concept behind Mommy Mondays is to have such transparency and openness and honesty, about who we are and what we do just as individuals, and to be able to kind of share. Danica, I'm not acknowledging you anymore.
She's showing out.
She's showing out. I don't have time. But I just think it's so important for people to really understand, that if you are a mother or a father, whomever it is caring for the children, that you deserve to focus on self-care, that you deserve to, have that time to yourself, but at the same time, sowing what you need to sow into your children, and making they need to be good human beings in this world. Brittany said it. If you have not voted, please make the time to go and vote tomorrow. Please, please, please vote. Go and vote. Tomorrow is the big day for you to be able to go and vote. And on top of that, last thing I'm gonna say is, y'all seen my post about me being a network marketer. If I call you and you don't want what I got, it's totally okay. Say no, and I'm cool with that, so I can move on. But let me tell you something. If I got something that'll change your life, because you know where you at right now, and I know where you at right now. And if I got something that'll change your life.
Change your life, guys. Y'all heard what the woman said.
Income. You need more than one. You need more than one.
7.
So if you need more than one, and if that's something that will help you create some generational wealth and be able to leave something behind for your kids, DM. You feel me? All right, y'all have a good night. We appreciate guys. I absolutely love you guys so much. Thank you so much for tuning into Mommy.
We need a remix. We need some thug like, hey, because it's the mommies in this good. Mommy's in this good. Mommy's in it. Mommy. I'm just playing, y'all.
No. It's just Mommy Mondays, y'all. Brittany throwing out.
I know, yeah. I mean, I'm just saying, I like trap music, so we need a trap version for when people like me come on your show. We need a trap version.
I will make a trap version, but it will not be tonight.
Okay, all right. That's an agreement. So whoever else come on that love trap, y'all tell her ahead of time, okay?
Yes, the
pretty girls love trap music.
Trap version. Wait, I'm the beat on. I don't think I
got. No, we gonna do it later. Bye, y'all.
All right, thank y'all so much for tuning in. I greatly appreciate you guys. Cheers. I will see you soon. Cheers.
Where your cup, friends? Cheers.
It's right here. It's right here.
All right. Cheers.
But I love you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in to Mommy Mondays. I greatly appreciate you. And I will see you guys next week on Monday. And I have a guest next week too. Y'all go.
Consistency.
I'm lining up guests. I usually be on here by myself, but I'm lining up some guests. Y'all gonna have company. So I love y'all. Bye. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.